father of Hollywood.com, along with Truthwins.com, presents Dreamland, New Beginnings, written by Dr. Galen Whitley Keith, narrated by Keith Whitley. Chapter 18. The fire crackled low in the Whitley mansion's hearth, painting the family room with shadows of gold and ember red. HJ and Gigi sat side by side on a sofa upholstered in damask, their forms framed by the tiny electric lamps glowing atop the end tables. Between them, the silence of long companionship wove thicker than the teapot and scones that lay gently steaming upon the tray. At HJ's feet sprawled their border collie, Hollywood, blue eyes gleaming whenever the light struck them just so. "I ran into Sid Grauman today," HJ said after a sip of black tea. He leaned back, mustache bristling. "He tells me he is planning a great theater and hotel." Gigi tilted her cup. "And has he a theme?" "He means to call the hotel the Roosevelt in honor of Teddy. I can think of no better." The man breathed concern for the average American. Teddy said what his father believed, that the wealthy bear grave responsibility, not to give alms alone, but to teach others means of sustaining themselves so every man and woman may rise by their own labors. "We must be sure to attend the opening," Gigi mused, brushing a curl back from her brow. "And the theater, it should be exotic, ornate, perhaps a Chinese motif. I still recall the wonders I saw on my journey to China." HJ's eyes softened. "And I recall Chen, that carpenter philosopher who once aided me. Without his words, we might never have called this place Hollywood. Strange how a twist of sound becomes a destiny." They both smiled at the memory and sipped their tea. Then Gigi set down her cup and grew grave. "I had a dream last night, HJ. Strange, profound, even frightening." "Do not leave me guessing," he urged. She closed her eyes as if to watch the images again. "I walked a country road that divided. I took the left path, and in the sky appeared a moving picture, but a talking motion picture, as if radio and film had been bound together. The first story was of men chasing treasure who found death instead. Then the second, a lawyer, debauched, deceiving his wife, plotting her murder. With horror I knew I was on the wrong road." HJ frowned, listening intently. "So I turned back and took the road less traveled, and there the visions changed. I saw a picture, light-hearted and full of laughter, yet with a noble truth that every life matters. The next showed me a home, radiant with love, declaring, 'There is no place like home.' Then from the heavens boomed an angel's voice, 'It is up to you to choose.'" "What path will you take?" HJ sat forward, heart stirred. "That is what Cecil DeMille and I spoke of. Movies as mirrors of morality, shaping men's dreams. He labors now on the 10 Commandments for the same purpose, to heal a people by remembering the eternal law." He sipped his tea slowly, eyes haunted with vision. "It is choice itself that guides the future, Gigi. A story can make men cruel, or it can call them higher. Words are not air, they are seeds." "Yes," Gigi whispered, eyes wide with the weight of her dream. "We call them quantum words," HJ said softly, lowering his gaze to the collie at his feet. "Each syllable a particle, each sentence a wave carrying into hearts unseen. Once spoken, never recalled, they ripple outward across generations, deciding what kind of people mankind will become." The dog rose then, nosing for the last crumb of scone. HJ lifted it and spoke gently. "Hollywood, speak." The dog barked once, a sharp woof, strong in the quiet of the room. Laughing, HJ fed him the morsel. Gigi's smile trembled into tenderness. "He sounds almost like you, darling. How could you forget why you drew the movies here? You made a place where people's dreams, their very words, become reality." HJ rose slowly, pulling from his vest his pocket watch. He opened it, beholding the treasured photograph. Himself, Gigi, Ross, and Grace. His eyes lingered with reverence, then closed it firmly. "It is time, Hollywood," he murmured. The collie padded across the rug as H.J. straightened his coat and walked toward the stairs, his shadow stretching up into the dim hall. Gigi set her teacup down and followed. "Wait for me." Halfway up the staircase, Whitley looked back at her, his figure swallowed already by dark. "Sweet dreams," he called. Beside him, the collie turned its blue eyes toward her, eyes piercing, almost prophetic, before they vanished together into shadow. Gigi stood frozen below, the angel's voice of her dream echoing anew. "It is up to you to choose. What path will you take?" And as she followed H.J. into that darkness, the truth carried like quantum words into eternity. Hollywood, born not of land, nor money, nor rail, but of dreams spoken aloud, believing that words once uttered may forever change the God-given destiny of men.